All right, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. We'll get started in just a minute here. And hope everyone's New Year's starting off with a bang. I got kind of a packed schedule here today, so I won't wait too long here to get going. Try to get started as close to as on time as possible. Dan, if you're on, I just promoted you to a panelist. If you want to help out, keep an eye on the Q&A. So we will, just FYI for everyone, we will open up a Q&A at the end. If you want to use the Q&A feature in Zoom for any sort of communications or questions that you might have along the way, otherwise I'm going to open it up at the end to anyone who wants to ask any questions or anything like that. So we will get going here. I think we should be live on most of the social channels as well. I'm less concerned about those here right now as everyone registered. So without further ado, I want to get started here. So I'll just turn on my little laser pointer so everyone can see. So I want to introduce everyone to the kind of the next generation of Uptics. We try to do these obviously occasionally, keep everyone informed what's going on. So we'll get started. But on a serious note, and I just want to make everyone can hear me before I get started. Dan, can you give me a thumbs up if you're on? You're on. Okay, cool. Good deal. Before we get started, I have a really serious thing. I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that the Green Bay Packers were eliminated from the playoffs on Sunday, and my Minnesota Vikings are in. And if you don't know, Dan is a Packers fan, and I'm a Vikings fan. So I just had to point that out have a little fun here today. So we'll get going here. Just as a quick reminder, because you're going to see everything that behind the scenes that we've been working on and what we're doing and plans that we have in the future. Uptick's main goal is to consolidate a lot of these little sales tools to make everyone's life easier to sell more and focus less on admin work. So as we reveal some stuff that we're doing in the future here, some of this will kind of make sense. The agenda for today, I want to go through some milestones that we've accomplished as a business, talk about our major releases that we've had up to date, and then of course our most recent update with the new design, new UI, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll give everyone a look under the hood for future roadmap and updates that we're going to be working on, at least the major ones, of course. Give everyone an update on pricing and plan updates that we'll have for this year. And then we're going to be doing an inbox giveaway. So anybody who joins and attends live, we're going to give everybody a free inbox to connect into Uptics, a 1x code, and then we're going to be doing a giveaway at the end for a 5x. And that's we'll just pick somebody random from whoever joined live here, as I mentioned in some of my communication that will do that. So, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. So we'll get going here in our milestones. So just a shout out to Dan mostly, and then Bebek's been helping. I chip in once in a while, but like our customer support has hit a 4 or 5-star rating, which Intercom, our support platform, recognizes a 100% rating for 12 weeks straight. We're a small team, of course, and we try to help everyone as much as possible. So just want to say thanks, of course, to all the users, and then Dan and Bebek, and then even some of the dev team and whatnot that chips in. So that's a really big accomplishment. If you don't know, we really try to take support to the next level, and we'll be unveiling some things later on in this webinar that will hopefully try to push towards this even further. And then little update on our growth, as a lot of people sometimes wonder, like, we're an earlier stage company, we haven't raised capital or outside funding at this point. Last month we grew 58.8%. So I want to thank everybody who's signed up, anybody who's thinking about signing up, of course, but we couldn't do it without all of our users. So I just want to thank everybody for that. We had a little dip a couple months ago we lost a really big account, but we recovered from that and then exceeded it. So this is kind of the life of a software business, but this is a really big achievement. This isn't like hundreds of dollars or anything like that. It's a lot in terms of our growth. So I just want to thank everybody for your support and confidence in us as a business. So Real quick update on kind of what we've worked on in Q4 and then even a little bit of Q3 since I haven't done an update, I think since last summer. We released warm up, as everyone knows. We've released the email verifier inside the sequencer, so you no longer need an outside verification tool. We include that free in all the subscriptions inside the sequence builder. That's a huge value add, of course, in addition to warm up. We've added multi-inbox sending to spread, sending load across multiple inboxes, custom tracking domains, DNS checker, bounce protection, and out of office. We've added a data exporter back in December. That was sponsored by Fulcrum Sales and Marketing, which is an agency that does outsourced and done for you lead gen for businesses. They're a huge Uptics customer, and so if you are looking for any sort of done for you lead gen, you should look up Fulcrum Sales and Marketing. All right, so they sponsored that feature, which is super cool. And then we're just releasing and working on some ATS, applicant tracking system integrations, Qlish, PC Recruiter, and Loxo. Might not mean something to everybody, but for the staffing and recruiting firms out there, this will mean something. We've got some updates coming here, hopefully by the end of the week, early next week, since we've been working on these new designs. And then we just released our bulk lookup function. In the sequence builder, you can now run bulk lookups to find email addresses that have either bounced, or if you're missing the email address and you have the first name, last name, website, you can run bulk lookups inside the sequencer. So these are just the major things. We've of course worked on a lot of little things as well. Now I want to get to the new stuff before before I kind of bore everyone to death on some of what we've accomplished and what we've worked on in the past. Here's what we're working on in the present. So as you know, we've updated the new design, UX, UI. Here's some of the goals we had: make it easier, faster, and cleaner, speed up the and optimize the experience, and building some responsiveness. Our previous design is not that friendly for smaller screen sizes, and we've noticed over time a lot of people, especially with work from home, are using smaller screen sizes. So the new design totally fixes all of that. I'll even show everybody. We've allowed the navigation and the experience inside the platform to be customized. I'll show you what this means. But our app and our software does a lot, and sometimes people don't use it for everything we've built. So what we wanted to do is give people the option to customize some of the menu options and whatnot. We've totally revamped the way smart lists are managed to make it easier, and then of course, increase screen size and all that kind of stuff. And then we fixed a number of bugs and navigation things that we've had, and so we think we've done and added a lot of really good enhancements here. So let me give you a demo if I can get out of my screen. All right, so first and foremost, here's the new UI. The biggest things you're going to notice, I'm going to walk you through things kind of step by step here. The navigation menu has changed slightly. So we've consolidated all of your records into one menu item on the left-hand side. So that includes inbox, contacts, outbound, and deals. And then we've separated out the warm-up product, and the lookup product is already separated. And then reports haven't changed. And then we removed some options down here, and we've just cleaned up some of the navigation to make it easier to view. The big thing in terms of customized experience, so let's just say, for instance, you don't use lookup, for instance, you could just hide that. And now lookup's not there anymore. All right, so it doesn't need to, confuse you. It doesn't, doesn't need to take up real estate on the screen. A lot easier navigation, so on and so forth. We've done the same thing with the sub menu up here. So the sub menus have changed to the top navigation. So for instance, some people don't manage deals. I wish everyone did manage deals, but if you don't, for whatever reason, if you don't want to see that, you just hide it. Okay, so in an effort to reduce clutter on the screen, we've just made some of that customizable. And I think I did a count on like the contact screen alone. We've removed like something like 12 or 13 options from the initial screen. So like if I go over into contacts on the live server currently, this is what it looks like. You've got your smart lists over here. You've got your toggles here. Got a bunch of buttons here, buttons here, buttons here, buttons all over the place. And so with this, we've really tried to simplify what's on the screen so it's easier to navigate without losing any functionality in the system. All right. So we hope, that's obviously a big help. That's kind of the main navigation stuff. You'll notice that the smart lists are no longer in the left panel. So in an effort to optimize for smaller screen sizes, we needed it to take up smaller or less screen space. So you're going to notice now you've got your sub menus here, and then you've got your toggles here if you're on a screen that has multiple options. So this, for instance, under contacts, you have people and companies. Okay. So your smart lists are now in a collection right here under this button. So we've made it gray, and now you can simply search your smart list here. Right now, this is kind of an awful experience where you've got to manage your smart lists and your settings all over here. Here you can drag and drop your smart list, move things around. You can show your hidden ones right here. They'll show up in gray font. And we will be, this is not on here, we're adding folders as well. So you'll be able to organize all of your smart lists within folders even. So that should be added. I'm hoping within the next week it'll get added slightly after our initial launch. But that's super, super exciting. But that's a big change because historically, here's where our smart lists have been in this expandable and collapsible view here on the side. And we've just noticed most people keep this open and it's taking up a lot of screen size and not leaving a lot of room on the screen for records and doing some other functionality. So that's a big change. Your filters are still front and center on the screen, and we've kept the filter button in the same spot in every screen now. And so the filters, really, really aren't going to change. Other than there's a little bit of change in where each filter will get added into the front, and then we've changed the save to just be a red button. We found people were having a hard time finding the save smart list, so we've made it a red button now, and you can do the save or save as right there. All right. So that's a big change as well. Um, One thing you'll notice, we previously had our add button up here. We noticed a lot of people got confused between the add button here, the add button there. So we've consolidated that into just one add button. Depending on what screen you're on, the add options here will change. Okay, so if I'm on the outbound tab, for instance, and I want to add something, this add button is dynamic. So that's where you can add new records. So if you're on the contact screen, if you want to import contacts, if you want to sync leads, if you want to add people, create a sequence, email, all that kind of stuff, it's all right there. The search, you'll notice it was in the center before, right here, which was very convenient. We've added it over here, so it's the same number of clicks. So now it'll just type or pop up on the screen here. You type a couple letters, and it's gonna pull up a record. Okay, so now your search is there. Your notifications haven't really changed. So that's kind of the main navigation things that we've done in the platform. Um, the next thing I want to show you, because you're probably wondering, well, okay, how do I get people enrolled? How do I delete contacts? How do I do all these bulk options? How do I do additional options here? Um, we've updated that just again to reduce clutter in the platform. So now when you select records, you're gonna see this update or this pop up here, where you can then do all your bulk actions. So yeah, you can select all, you can enroll into a sequence, and it's going to show you your active sequences. I only have one in this account. You can enroll people. You can still send a bulk email from here. You can do bulk SMS from here. I don't have a number configured in this account. You can start your power dialer from here. You can tag records. You can add or remove. So we've made this a lot easier to do. So if you want to tag records with, a couple different tags, whatever, you hit save, super, super easy. If you want to add contacts to lists or remove them, very easy to do there. Here's your edit options. If you want to edit the first name in bulk or whatever it is that you want to edit, you still got all the options here. Of course, you've got delete. Delete works the same way. You still have to type in a confirmation number. And just as a side note, you cannot undo deletes. Still, maybe in the future we'll add that, but the delete's all right here. And then we got the export module in here as well. So all your bulk actions now, where just when you select records. So again, the goal is to reduce the clutter on the screen, reduce confusion. and try to make it easier for the average users who aren't power users to operate the platform and the system. So those are a lot of the big updates. You'll notice we've consolidated and condensed some of the records, take up less space, have more records on the screen, and we've changed the actions over here so it's not static on the screen. Currently, if you have multiple columns, this action column is hidden, and you have to scroll over to use it, so it's pretty useless. So we've added this layover, basically. That's the context page. The inbox, pretty similar, but again, we've removed some of the clutter. As before, on the inbox, you've got all your filters up top here. So it just adds a lot to the screen and gets a little confusing. We want to encourage people to use smart lists. So you can still add your filters here and then save as smart lists just as before. And you can change your smart lists, of course, back and forth. If you just want to look at your emails, then you've got your email tasks here, so on and so forth. So not a ton of changes outside of just the UI being a little bit cleaner. On the inbox, we have some plans to enhance some things on the screen as well. Under the outbound navigation, you'll notice some changes. So now, the inboxes aren't going to be in outbound. Again, they're going to be separated into the left navigation. You've got oh, I gotta remove this. You still have your home tab with all your folders. You still have your sequences, of course, and I'll pop into a sequence in a second. And then you still have your templates, of course. And invariably, when I do screen shares on Zoom, everything operates a little slower. You'll notice a good improvement in speed inside the platform as well. But here's your sequences, just as you would pretty much see them before, with a little more screen size. You'll notice, though, again, in an effort to make the system just easier to navigate, before we had these folder views, and sure, it looks nice and all that kind of stuff, but it's not really great for smaller screen sizes. So we've moved all the options here for emails, SMS, snippets, to do social as a drop down. Again, keep in mind, if people aren't using SMS, they're not using the social aspect, then it doesn't need to create real estate on the screen. And it's just an easier navigation. You still got your smart lists, you still got your filtering options all right here on the screen, so you can save all your smart lists and all that good stuff. Under the sequences, you'll notice some updates, and we'll keep improving some stuff under the sequences, but I want to give everyone a little look here. Your navigation inside of a sequence will change to be a submenu, just like on the other screens. So you've got your steps, your stats, your enrollment, your settings, same options, but you'll be able to customize which ones show up in which order. And then if you always want to go to settings or steps or whatever, then you can save that as well. So and then while I'm in here, I'll show a couple different things. We've made it easier to change, like, the name of your sequences. The rest of the stuff here, I think we've already got. Under the enrollment screen, you'll notice some of this will change in the future, but we've got some easier search functionality there, and just optimized a few things along the way inside of the sequencer. And we'll continue to. We're going to be doing a little revamp inside of here under the sequence settings. And then for warm up, it's pretty much the same as the inbox screen. You still got your smart lists. You can filter for your different things that you might need to do for setup. Pretty much all the same options here. Although I do have a little bit of a look under the hood, a big reveal on what we're going to be working on. Warm up will go through some changes in the future, and some enhancements, improvements, additions, and all that kind of stuff. I think I did not cover this, but the bottom left didn't change a whole lot. We still have the help, although we've changed the icon to be easier for people to understand that that's where you ask questions and where you get help. Currently, right now, it just looks like this little bubble. So we've got that there. You'll notice a few options under the left-hand menu here. So all of our product updates, like all the kind of additional stuff that was taking up some room in the upper right-hand corner here, we've consolidated down in the bottom left, where you look at the change log, add a feature request, look at the roadmap, so on and so forth. But we've added some other options here. So you got our product tours. These will need to go through an update. But if you weren't familiar, we do have a whole collection of product tours inside of the system. So that's super useful for onboarding and training new people. Um, we didn't previously link to our LinkedIn Chrome extension, but if you weren't aware, we do have a LinkedIn Chrome extension where your LinkedIn tasks sync into. So we've added a link to the Chrome store for that. We get asked often, how do I become an affiliate for Uptics? So we've added a link for that. That takes you to an affiliate login. You can get 20% recurring revenue share on becoming an affiliate. And then most of you have probably seen our 5-day or our email challenge, the cold to gold email challenge. We've added a link for that as well. And if you're someone who's connected and linked multiple accounts, you're used to seeing the linked accounts show up here under the nav up in the upper top left-hand corner. They've now moved underneath the settings here. So there'll now be a drop down here, and then you can add or click this plus button to link another account. So obviously this is good if you have multiple businesses or you're an agency. So that's moved into the bottom left-hand corner. That's some of our big updates on the design. Hope everyone loves them. I really think once you get in and get used to it a little bit, it's going to be a lot easier to navigate, be a lot more customizable, cleaned up again, number of any bugs that we've had in sort of any of the navigation, all that kind of stuff. So hope everyone loves it. I want to dive into what we have on the tech roadmap here moving forward. Give everyone a little look under the hood. I'm going to go into just screen share mode here. Turn on my handy dandy laser pointer. All right, so what we're going to work on in the future here, we're going to be adding Salesforce and HubSpot integrations. And in case you're wondering, we will be competing with some of the legacy sales enablement tools directly. I won't name names, but there'll be some more competitors in that space for companies who have historically ran some of the legacy sales enablement tools. As you know, we've added a lot of features and we innovate pretty fast. So that's what we're going to be working on here. We've already started building the infrastructure for it, but we'll be doing two-way syncs on that. We're improving the importing. It's going through an overhaul currently. We've made a lot of improvements to it. However, it still doesn't support the file sizes we want it to support, and there's a few little issues along that some people experience with the importing. Not everybody, but some people do. So that is in progress, and we hope to be pushing an update to this within the next week. And I guess as I advised the team, I said I never want an importing issue ever again in my entire life. So that's the goal with the importing. We're actually changing the entire programming language that it was developed in and into a new language that supports bigger file sizes and does a number of other things. We're going to be adding well, we already have this tech built, an MX checker, and most of you don't know what that is, but basically what this does, an MX checker allows us to see what email client provider is being used within the leads or contacts in our database. So we'll be able to do some email client provider data and analysis. The reason why this is important is we're adding another feature into the platform here to do email client provider matching automation. So let's just say your leads are using Outlook or they're using Gmail. And let's say you have Gmail and Outlook inboxes connected into Uptics. We will automatically send from Gmail to a Gmail inbox, Outlook to an Outlook inbox. This helps with deliverability. So that will be coming. This will be released this month. Both of these will be released this month. And we'll be working on some webhooks and APIs as well. So through the Salesforce and HubSpot integrations, we have to build a pretty big infrastructure with APIs and all this stuff. So we'll be adding that. an update for some of the products we plan to build into the platform this year. Hopefully, we'll see how things go. We've got a product scope called Upmail, which is a total inbox management software for sales teams. Not to go too deep in this, but what we're essentially going to be doing is we're going to be expanding the inbox functionality inside the platform. We've got the inbox domain, the multi-inbox domain, but we're going to be adding some more inbox and domain sending controls and health reporting. We're going to be adding a feature called inbox scaling automation. So if you have new inboxes, one of the big questions we get is like, hey, my inbox is new. How do I know how much volume I should send? So we're going to be adding automation to help scale inboxes automatically without having to think about it. There is some consideration around building custom email servers with IP rotation and even a function for domain automation. And I won't go into too much detail on this, and you're probably wondering what the heck it is. We'll just say we're going to pretty much completely eliminate the need to have to enter or create DNS records for DKIM, SPF, DMARC, all this kind of stuff. So that's Upmail. I'll give everyone just kind of a quick little look under the hood. So the inbox will eventually actually move to Upmail, but we'll have a little different navigation in here with more syncing capability between your email client provider, and then more functionality, or your inbox functionality, of course. So this is kind of a build on the warm up, but you'll be able to see live stats and open rates, click rates, reply rates consolidated at the inbox level. All right. And then we'll have some sending limits. You'll be able to implement sending limits for inboxes, and you'll be able to do the same thing at the domain level. So you'll be able to have entire domains where you'll be able to look at the stats and health of it, and then set your sending limits at the entire domain level as well. And then the domain automation, I'll give everyone just kind of a little sneak peek where you'll be able to search domains by them, and then we'll automate a whole bunch of stuff to make it easier to spin up new domains for your outbound. That's Upmail. There'll be a number of other things as well. And then we have Book Up Plan, which is a booking management software for sales teams. So, similar to some of the other tools that you've seen out there where you can schedule events, sync your calendar, track meetings, show rates, and automate workflows. Give everyone a little look under the hood here. So this would be the lead prospect facing side where, I can pick a date, schedule a meeting, so on and so forth, and it'll book the meeting. You'll also be able to book meetings inside of the application under a contact page. All right, so that's Book Up. So that's a look under the hood, what we're planning for this year. We might have some other things sort of planned as well, but those are the ones that I was comfortable with sharing with everybody. Just to give everyone some other updates along the way, and then we'll hit Q&A. You're probably familiar. We launched the Cold to Gold email challenge. If you haven't heard of it, I'll take just a second here as the screen's loading to explain what it is. We're helping people launch a better, more concerted outreach and a scaling strategy for email, but then also multi-channel and then taking advantage of the full functionality of Uptics. So we're calling it the Cold to Gold email challenge, but it's really more than just email. Where we're doing live weekly support calls. I actually have a live support call later on today. We're doing private coaching, and then we have some done-for-you options within there as well. So if you haven't taken advantage or looked into the Cold to Gold email challenge, you can do that. This challenge is free with the scale plan. So, and just so everyone knows, I've charged anywhere from $3,000 to $6,500, $7,000 for some of this, my courses and coaching programs. We're including it for free in this program. And there's nothing we won't help with. We'll help you with Uptics. We'll help you with copywriting. We'll help you with domain, inbox setup, like the whole nine, scaling, everything. We'll help you with as much as we possibly can. So we do Tuesday and Thursday support calls live, and then you can get support in between those calls. If you want a little bit more information, go to get.uptics.io/cold-email-pro. Otherwise, I think you can just go to uptics.io, and there's somewhere on the website where you can access that. This is an update. We are enhancing our premium support service, which we are currently charging $99 a month for. So we're going to be adding dedicated weekly live calls. Dan is going to be hosting these, and he's going to be doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live calls. So instead of having to reach out on chat support, we want to be able to help people faster, easier, reduce the time that it takes to help people just by opening up a consistent recurring live support calls. It'll be similar to kind of this webinar, except you'll be able to submit a question. Dan will unmute you and he'll help with literally anything under the sun. Okay. Obviously, we're a small team too, so we're trying to help as many people we can and as we can and be as efficient as possible. Reduce some of the back and forth chat and all that kind of stuff. So this is added into the premium support, which is $99 a month, or it's free with the scale plan. So we're adding this premium support level tier, which is $99 a month. It's going to be included free with the scale plan. Okay. So now the cold to gold email challenge and the premium support are all included in the scale plan. If it wasn't already enough value, I hope that's more enticing, obviously. So contact support if you want to get access to that. Okay. And then real quick, last, I've got a goal for this year. I want to create 100 new training videos and launch them on our YouTube channel, help people with sales, outreach, all that kind of stuff. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I'd love if you'd subscribe to the channel. I launched 3 new videos last week. I know not everyone has time to watch everything, but if there's a video that interests you, it's all free content out there. So if you want to subscribe, go to bit.ly /cold2goldyt, and that'll take you to the YouTube channel. Lastly, the pricing update I mentioned earlier at the beginning, we will be increasing our plans. As you see, we've seen like we've added a ton to the platform already. We are adding new products, right? And our pricing, people already tell us like we're too cheap, and we've got a lot of value in the platform, and as we keep adding value, we'll keep pushing the boundaries. I guess we're trying to operate a business as well, so we'll be increasing the plans. Your current plan will not change, so I just want everyone to know that you will be grandfathered in. So there's nothing you need to be concerned about. But I want to get to the head of the curve. So if I send an email out to people and say we're updating pricing, and you don't happen to read the entire email, just know that we're not forcing anybody to pay us more money or anything. That you'll be grandfathered in. So this will be all for new plans. But if you are thinking about going from the free plan to starter, or starter to growth, or growth to scale, whatever it might be, if you may want to consider upgrading before the pricing does change, just as an update. Now I want to do the giveaway live. I just need to download a file for anybody who joined the call. So real quick here, if I can find my other screen, I need to find. I might not be able to do this live. Let me see if I can. I know I entered the attendees previously, but I don't know if I got everyone. If Rob is on the call, you won it. So I entered all the attendees into this random screen here. I do not know if Rob is on the call. If he's not on the call, there we go. If he's not on the call, then we'll redraw it. But Rob won a free 5x code for inboxes. To be able to add 5 more inboxes into your account. Obviously, you need to be an Uptics user too. So that's the only caveat there. All right, that's all I have. So Q&A. I know we've got a few questions in there. Dan sent me a chat. Be sure to mention some. Yeah. I mentioned the importing, some of the importing deals that we'll be updating. I'll just go in order for the Q&A that's left. It looks like there's a few answered. Evan, super hyped for folders and smart lists. Awesome. I am too, actually. I've got like 150, 200 smart lists inside of the platform, and so the foldering is going to be huge. And so, um, when you're navigating in the system, basically the way this will look under the full smart lists here. Uh, it'll look almost identical to this, except it'll have a folder, and then it'll have the little expand collapse, and then you'll be able to move those around automatically. So um, yeah, that'll be super, super helpful. I'm looking forward to that as well. Do you have an ETA for Pabbly API? Gabriel, we don't have any plans to integrate with Pabbly. I did mention we're integrated with Zapier. That's where we've built around. In order to keep innovating the platform, um, we obviously have to be kind of dedicated or smart with our time. So what we will do is we'll add webhooks, and that is fine. It's kind of gotten pushed, with other priorities, and some of the priorities that we pushed it for has allowed us for some pretty serious growth, which is very healthy for the company. So underneath our kind of the new tech roadmap, I say Q1-ish. These things are always subject to change. We do plan on adding webhooks, but it'll be after our Salesforce and HubSpot integrations. And with that, you should be able to utilize Pabbly. So hopefully that helps. I know that's been a little while coming, but we do have the Zapier integration still. All right, so we got that. Evan said, email scaling tool sounds super useful, be very helpful for my team if a similar tool gets developed for scaling LinkedIn outreach, for sure. Yeah, if you're doing LinkedIn automation, I know there's some tools out there. Evan, I'm not sure what you're using, but happy to make some recommendations. We had considered building LinkedIn automation, and we've just decided to stay away from it for some reasons. But send connection requests and a tool to help manage our rate of outreach. Awesome. Yeah, Evan, if you want to reach out, I'm not sure what tools you're using, but we might be able to make some recommendations. Robert, give me those inboxes. Yeah, so it looks like Rob Holderness won those. So if he's not on the call though, if he didn't join live, then I'll redo this. So that you still got a chance potentially. I'm not sure if the other Rob's on the call. Patrick said amazing. I'm not sure what that was in reference to, but I'm glad it was amazing. I love it. I've said there's been an issue when navigating through folders and sequences. If you go into a folder of sequence and click into a sequence to edit it, and then click back, it takes you to the unfiltered all sequences list. Not Evan, we'll look into that. Dan, if you could document that and send that over to the team, that'd be amazing. Thank you. Thanks, Evan, for pointing that out. And just FYI, like those are we're getting to the point. So our plan, of course, as a business, with adding the Salesforce and HubSpot integrations, we're going to start targeting moving into kind of like a mid-market space in addition to SMB small businesses. These little things are really high priority for us to tweak and fix. Not that they weren't before, but we're really in a phase where we're really trying to perfect what we have, because we know we have a lot of features in the platform. We want to make sure we can maximize the people that come into the platform and make it easier for everybody to operate, and eliminating bugs, navigation challenges, any of that kind of stuff is high priority. So we have, when people log in or sign up for the first time, they experience the best possible thing. So Evan, I appreciate that feedback, and keep it coming, man. So and I know you've had some of the importing stuff too. So I really hope the importing update here in the next week solves all of that. And if it doesn't, then I don't know. I'll do something pretty nice for you if it doesn't totally fix it. All right. Yeah, I think I can share this slide deck. The slide deck, excuse me, Patrick. So I will put I'll put a post inside of the app with a link to the slide deck, if that'll help. Andrew said ETA for this UI UX update imminent. The ETA was supposed to be the beginning of the year, but naturally things take longer. The team's been working on this for 2 months. And so actually, I need to give a shout out to our front end developer, Harmon. She's worked her ass off on this for the last couple months and done most of it. And Manjeet, our technical co-founder, has come in over the last few weeks and done a few things, or a lot of things, of course, as well that Harmon wasn't able to implement on the front end. But this new design will be launched this week. I'm hoping it's launched tomorrow. There's just a couple little tiny micro things that we need to update, but I'm hoping it's updated tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, I'm pretty confident it'll be the next day. But this week, 100%, this will be launched. And I'd love everyone's feedback. It will be new to get used to for sure. Even me, for instance, like within I don't have deals selected here, but under deals, for instance, we've changed the can. Like people are like, how do I change the Kanban and list view? Now it's right here instead of like hidden way over here. So I'm super stoked. It's a little bit of a learning curve for me, but it's been by far way better navigation. We've been using it on our beta servers, as you can see. So um, Andrew, very very soon. So hopefully tomorrow. Um, Edna said, you may have mentioned this, but when do y'all plan launching the updated UX UI? Hopefully that just gave you a little update. So hopefully tomorrow. Probably Thursday at the very latest, but I'm pretty sure it'll be launched tomorrow. One of the things we have pending is getting a product tour dialed in. So when everybody logs in for the first time after we push it, we can point everybody, sort of in the right direction. So that's actually one of the things pending that we got to do. Anonymous attendee said, thanks. Zapier is a bit too pricey, but the webhooks can be helpful too. Cheers. Yeah, I totally get it. Like Zapier it's more on the expensive side for sure. Um, the the unfortunate reality for this, and I know I've said it in a lot of different um, Q&As and trainings and stuff like that, for Zapier is just like they're the 500-pound gorilla, and so for us being a small team, obviously we just got to make best use of what we have and whatnot, and we've been throwing haymakers with adding new products and all these things to really drive revenue growth, and it's really paid off. But I really hope the webhooks should solve most of that, and I'm sure someday we will do Pabbly. Matthew said, will the new products be available for any lifetime deal users? Yeah, they'll be available in some capacity. So as I've stated previously, and I don't want to have any challenges with any social media challenges or whatever, but I've always stated from the beginning, even when we launched our first lifetime sale a long time back, that new products may be subject to additional charges. But I know, like for instance, Lookup we recently launched. I think we included that for every lifetime deal customer at no charge when we launched Warm Up. So Warm Up we charged for, but Lookup we gave totally free. So and Lookup cost me like over $50,000, just so everyone's aware. So that was a pretty big value add, and we're going to keep building it. Um, the One of the visions for Lookup is that it's a lead database as well. So, but in terms of new products for Lifetime, it'll depend on Matthew. May require a subscription. Um, we probably will never do another Lifetime deal ever again. So warm up Lifetime, we shut off. I think a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and we'll never do another Lifetime deal in the history of the company. You can take that one to the bank. So of course we got to build a sustainable company and all that kind of stuff. So it may be subject to some sort of subscription of some sort. But as you've seen, Matthew, with a lot of the updates we've done, and just to quell any fears on anyone that has a legacy account, like this was included, 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 like this was included. Warm up was not. We charged a little extra, but so like we're continuing to add value to anybody who's bought like a warm up lifetime deal or anything else in the past, and adding more and more features to it. So, but if it's a major product, we will probably charge for it. Andrew said, first degree LinkedIn connections transferred directly into Uptics. Is this possible now or in the future? It's possible, Andrew. The more people who recommend features to us, the hard part is we get a lot of like one-off requests, and obviously, like we we're collecting all that data inside of the application. In the current application right now, it's I think right here under product updates and feature requests, and we're constantly looking at that list and just seeing like what the masses and what people are wanting to build. And so we kind of look at that. Of course, we have to balance that with our feature initiatives. It's not impossible to pull in LinkedIn connections, but I think there's also some other tools that you could probably use currently to bring those LinkedIn connections into a G Sheet or something like that, and then connect them into like with Zapier or something like that as well. Um, we've got the simple LinkedIn Chrome extension for managing LinkedIn tasks, so it's not impossible that we add that. But we've really obviously we've focused on email and phone for the most part within the application so far. I think that's all the Q&A. Any other last questions? I'll hang out for just a minute here, but I just want to express my appreciation to everybody for all your support. All of our customers, we're constantly trying to do things to add more value, like these support calls, cold to gold email challenge, more support infrastructure, more value, all that kind of stuff. So obviously we couldn't do it without you. We love your feedback with the new updates and new UI and all that. We'd love to continue to get your feedback. Really, really appreciate it. And a shout out to the team as well. I don't do all of this stuff. I'm just the loudmouth, and the sales and marketing side of things, and sort of painting the vision for the future and pulling some of the strings. But I couldn't do it without the development team, without Dan, without Babek. So I just want to express my appreciation for everyone there, and really appreciate all the hard work and then the support from all you customers out there, all users. Really appreciate the support and look forward to continuing to serve all of you. Couple live streams came in at the end here, Q&As. What's next in 2024 for Uptics? Buckle up, we'll just say. So as long as we continue growing, we got some crazy things planned. So the Upmail product and the Book Up product will be two big ones this year. I didn't say this earlier. We may add a lead database. I don't know if we'll be able to do it this year, but we might add that this year yet. And so who knows what will happen in 2024? We'll just see. Email challenge be great for many to involve, build most. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Edward. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Gabriel. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it. We'll see everybody soon. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and support. And we'll be getting this new update, this new UI launched this week. Thanks, everyone. And Happy New Year again. And we'll talk to everyone soon.